Minister for the Interior issues a stern warning to Konkombas and Dagombas at the Agbogbloshie market against killing of each other, plus taking the law into their own hands.
Nobody can kill anybody and go free. So I am saying that send the evidence there and something will be done about it.
Meanwhile, 5 arrests have been made in connection with Tuesday's disturbances at the Agbogbloshie market.
5 suspects have been arrested and currently in police custody, assisting in investigations. We have created a command post at the scene to ensure continued security of Agbogbloshie.
The minister, after a meeting with the 2 feuding factions on Wednesday at Agbogbloshie, reiterated that perpetrators of the violence will be dealt with according to law. The IGP a while ago also confirmed the minister's directives, and the question remains, is that all it takes to quench this recurring ethnic violence? What long-term measures are required to deal once and for all with these catastrophic clashes? Is the police averting its mind to the political undertones of these violence? We will be hearing from the Minister for the Interior, from the IGP, plus some updates from the police, as well as some independent analysis on this issue. All on today's big story. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. The minister led a high-powered government delegation today to Agbogbloshie to meet the 2 factions that clashed yesterday, leaving 1 person dead and several others critically injured. The factions involved in the clashes have accused each other of causing the violence and are both calling for justice. We can listen to a Nanumba spokesperson plus the Interior Minister when he visited.
First, we have to appeal to you that we are sorry for sending you over there.
Sorry, yes,
everybody is aware. When we came here, you see what you have seen. This is our office that we have here. When you go to the Konkomba-Dagomba, you enter their office, and now ours is now bent down. That is why first we want to meet you over there, because we see the numbers and then we are the same. We all do everything together. We started to meet you there, then you go. Then you insist of coming here. When we got to this place, even police for you for the city is not there. So it's very shameful. But this our main causes. The program started early 2009. Early 2009, immediately they declared the results to NDC. The youth of NDC started killing us. If you don't run, you rather go with blood or else you die. And then they've collected all our properties. Through that, they killed 4 of our brothers. Nothing happening. So we thought when we got the power, we have to come back and then have our properties back. Me, for instance, maize was sold in somewhere May to one Konkomba woman, 4,000 cedis. I followed to have my team back. I rather end up paying for it, which is very painful. I have my property, coming back for it, I then pay. So this is our program for it to get simple solution is to find justice for our brothers who they killed. We thank God we have survived, but those who died, they must get justice. This is our main cause.
You have grievances. You have expectations. Your grievances, please. Tomorrow, the leader of the team on the ground, the security, would create an opportunity for you to send your leaders to meet the IGP and give you a story. So please, expectations, yes. But let us, as Northerners, not create the impression that anytime there's news about us from the north, it is for the wrong reasons. It is for violence. It is for killing. Let it be for the right reasons. If you do anything against the law will take its course. If you have evidence of those who have killed, when you go to the IGP, give it out, there will be an investigation and the law will take its course. Nobody Nobody can kill anybody and go free. So I am saying that send the evidence there and something will be done about it.
The minister also warned the Konkomba faction the law will deal cruelly with anyone who takes the law into his own hands. Let's listen to the minister once more.
You have grievances. You have expectations. Your grievances, please, tomorrow, the leader of the team on the ground, the security, would create an opportunity for you to send your leaders to meet the IGP and give you a story. So please, expectations, yes, but let us, as Northerners, not create the impression that anytime there's news about us from the North, it is for the wrong reasons. It is for violence. It is for killing. Let it be for the right reasons. If there are problems, the solution of those problems are not to create any more problems. There must be a stop at a certain stage. You support the MPP? Yes. And the president tells us that wrongdoing has no political color. It's better for you to bring your grievances forward. People might have bought your property, but they were not the ones who killed you. We would make sure that bring the information that you have about those who kill your brothers. We'll make sure an investigation is pursued in that regard. But in the meantime, let us know what your problems are. We will deal with them. You think that it's a disgrace to stand here? No. We are standing with you in solidarity. We are standing with you in solidarity. And let us show that we are out to make sure that we show that we are different and that we want peace and security for every Ghanaian. And Sule, I assure you, your claim for justice, as long as you cooperate with us within the law, you would get results. Sule, what we'll do is that tomorrow, get your leaders. They would act with Tijani and get in touch with the IGP. Your story will be taken fully and look up to us to give you the solution. Don't take the law into your own hands.
This is today's big story. Meanwhile, 5 people have been arrested in connection with this violence.
One of the 8 injured persons have been discharged and will assist police on the investigation. Several other properties running into thousands of Ghana cedis were destroyed. On receiving the information, a police deployment was immediately dispatched to the scene. At the scene, it was confirmed that an attack took place but was repelled. The situation at the time had remained calm. The police patrol team remained on the ground monitoring developments. However, the regional command invited key stakeholders in the area to a consultative meeting. It was during this meeting with the elders and opinion leaders of Agbogbloshie. And while the meeting was ongoing with the leaders of these 2 feuding factions, the officers on the ground requested for reinforcements with information that there was a renewed clash in the area, resulting in public disorder. More personnel and the 4th police unit were dispatched to restore law and order. The military later gave us a backing with 1 platoon. The meeting was therefore adjourned to enable the police to restore law and order as a priority. According to the first responders to the scene, there was total pandemonium at the scene and that shops were being set ablaze and gunshots heard. The joint team of police and military succeeded in bringing back order. 5 suspects have been arrested and currently in police custody, assisting in investigations. Police has taken the following steps to maintain law and order. 1. We have created a command post at the scene to ensure continuous security of Agbogbloshie and its surrounding areas. We urge all citizens to give any information to the command center in person or call 0299206800. These numbers have been printed. The regional commander shall be available to attend to such persons at the regional headquarters, Accra. He can also be contacted on phone number 0244 6840. 3. Extensive patrols are also being undertaken throughout the country, with emphasis on potential flashpoints. One can also call MTN and Vodafone short code 18555 and 191 on all networks. Finally, we are also available on social media, the Facebook GH Police Service, and on Twitter at GH Police Service.
Let's do some analysis now. Albert Yelyang is a data analyst at the Early Warning Center at WANEP, and he joins us via Skype. Good evening to you, Albert. You're welcome on today's big story.
Good evening.
All right.
Let me say that I am the National Network Coordinator for the West African Network for Peace Building, the Ghana office.
All right, Albert. So there are concerns that the kind of weapons that these factions wield are very scary, and it is believed that those people cannot have access to such guns unless they have the support of some powerful people. And in this case, they feel it's the politicians. How does this come across to you?
Thank you. I think that it might not necessarily be from the politicians. Let's probably not say that's the only source that people in violence can source arms. We have several people that are engaged in the trade, the proliferation and movement of small arms, light weapons. And some of them sophisticated, as you have indicated, and we don't know whether they should be called small arms and light weapons. Let me say, let's not blame the politicians. We have several conflict issues occurring across the globe, and some of these arms are no longer useful in those countries and communities where they had violent incidents. And so they will find a way of relocating these arms to where they can be useful. And so let's not say that, I will not say probably it's the politicians who give out these or who finance the acquisition of these weapons. It could be one of the sources.
Well, what do you say to people who accuse or say that there are some political undertone to these factions, and indeed it's not really what sparked the violence, but it is what has been there for some time now?
I would always want us to broaden the discussion, not to say it's just politics. If you know, these are ethnic groups that have engaged in violent actions over the Agbogbloshie. The incidences have occurred in the past, 2014, 2015, with other groups or between these same groups. There are probably instances where people have the tendency to export their grievances within communities that they originate from And where they now locate, find themselves to be doing businesses, certain causes might now fuel that. And so politics can only become an avenue that they are using to express their own grievances. So economics is one, chieftaincy is one, the fight or struggle over superiority, and the tendency to lord over others, to have control over the area and sources of power and other benefits that come with it. And so these are some of the dynamics. You can look at them broadly and not just look at politics as the source of these incidences that are occurring. And again, you will see that there has been a kind of a trend in terms of violence across the country. It's not just about politics and not just about Agbogbloshie. We have witnessed some in Akomansi some few days ago, and that has been the talk. This one too has occurred, and it seems to be taking over. Maybe it looks like we are forgetting what happened in Akomansi, but it has been a trend. A culture of violence, a culture of impunity, and people thinking that they can engage in these acts without being punished or being prosecuted. And that's where probably we expect more. And the leadership of the government, various civil society institutions, organizations have all spoken in the media that there is a need to look at it as a national issue, that all of us have to put our hands on deck to address the problem. Otherwise, it becomes a serious national security threat to all of us.
But one of the things we've seen over the years has been the Kokombas fighting the Nanumbas. We know there's a long-standing feud. This is a new trend where the Kokombas are now shifting to have their feud with the Dagombas. And this is interesting. It's quite interesting.
The Konkomba-Dagomba violence did not only involve those two. If those of us who understand the issue, we know that it goes beyond just Konkombas and Nanumbas. Other groups joined along the line in the violence in 1994-95, and that has been exported to several communities. And so that kind of division and tension between the Konkombas and several other groups might not be taken for granted. And so let's not just focus our attention and see this one as a new incident or a new occurrence or something that is new in terms of the relationship between these two. It might be there long before we got to know of it. Yeah.
All right, but there are also concerns that the cause of these clashes should be laid at the doorstep of the security agencies plus authorities because of their failure to culminate in the proliferation of military-grade arms in that area. Do you agree to this?
I think that, yes, probably it's an expectation from politicians, from leadership, by the public. But I think that all of us have played key roles. And maybe because we also have the perception that there is a clan-patron relationship between these people engaged in violent acts and then politicians and other people who think that they should have security, some level of security around them and not from the official security sources. And so we seem to be expecting a lot from leadership, from politicians, and that's why we have the tendency to think that we should place that burden, at their doorstep. But we need to look at it differently and get everyone involved and think about it that there is a certain level of low trust or confidence in the security services over a long period. And probably people think that that still exists and they want to exploit the situation. And that's why I'm saying that we expected more from the security services, from leadership, to be forthright in dealing with the issues. Otherwise, it's a serious threat that might degenerate, and we can find it difficult to contain, because it gives the opportunity for other conflicts that might be simmering to explode.
All right, many thanks to you. Albert Yelyang is the National Network Coordinator for WANEP. Now, we can also listen to Police PRO Efia Tenge, who's been speaking in Accra, and she says one person has been confirmed dead.
With the persons who suffered injuries, we have 8. We had 8. This morning we had our investigators going around the hospitals to check on their condition, and one of them was even treated and discharged. Then again, we have 7 of them who are still receiving treatment. There's this lady who was pregnant that I was personally concerned about, and we had to also find out. But in the morning, we realized that she was still in the theater, and she was still receiving some form of medical attention.
She's still in critical condition?
I am told that she's still responding. She's responding to treatment, and she's receiving treatment as well. As to the condition, I may not be able to say.
What about death situations? Do we have confirmation on how many deaths? Speculations were that 2 people died yesterday. What do we know?
Yes, actually, with the issue of death, some of them, yesterday we said that some of them appeared dead, we perceive, because looking at the situation in which we found them. But it is not the case now. Some of them recovered, and they are still receiving treatment, even in spite of the critical condition in which they were yesterday.
So we can say that there's been no deaths as it stands now?
For now, as of the information I had, the 2 that we were all perceiving to be dead, it was only one person that unfortunately could not make it.
This is today's big story. We've been talking about the violence in Agbogbloshie yesterday. Today, the Minister for the Interior visited the area, plus the IGP, who are warning that the law will deal severely with anybody who takes the law into their own hands, and also deal with people who feel they can kill each other and go scot-free. And so we'll be following up on this issue and bring you updates in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.